Before we start building anything serious in 3ds Max, like furniture, buildings, or even characters, we need to make sure that the units we're using match real-world measurements. Think about it like this. If you're modeling a chair and don't set your units right, 3ds Max might think it's the size of a mountain, or a paperclip. That's why setting up your measurement system correctly is critical, especially when you're designing something that's meant to be a certain size. Let's walk through how to make sure our scenes use the right units depending on the project. At the top of the screen, we're going to go up here in the middle to the Customize menu. From here, we're going to come down to Units Setup. A pop-up window will appear with two sections, Display Unit Scale and System Unit Setup. Let's go ahead and break these down. The display unit scale, what you see, this section controls what units you see in the interface. For example, when you look at the dimensions of an object in the Modify panel. Choose one of the following depending on what you're building. So if we come over here to metric, we have millimeters, best for small detailed work like jewelry, phone cases, etc. Centimeters, which is great for furniture, interior design, and most general purpose modeling. Or meters, which is good for architecture, buildings, or large scale scenes. I've very rarely seen an instance where anybody's needed to use kilometers, so for right now I won't even worry about that. You could also use US standard measurements of inches and feet if you're using US customary units. For most projects in this class, you will end up best to be using centimeters. This will make sure every measurement you type, like box, height, cylinder, radius, etc., is using centimeters. Now, let's click on the System Unit Setup button. This controls how 3ds Max interprets measurements behind the scenes. Even if your display shows 10 millimeters, this is where the software decides what that means. In most cases, you want to set your system unit scale to match your display unit. So, under System Unit Scale, set 1 unit to equal 1 centimeter. Make sure Respect System File Units is checked. Click OK to close this window, and then OK again on the main units setup window. So why this matters? Let's say you download a chair model from the internet and it was created in inches, but your scene uses meters. When you import it, it might come in either way too big or way too small. By setting your units consistently from the beginning, you avoid surprises and scale issues, especially when combining objects from different sources. Remember, unit setup is non-negotiable. Always do it first. Setting the right units is like telling 3ds Max how to read a ruler. If you skip this step, things may look fine in the viewport, but render way too small or import incorrectly. This is one of those good habits that separates beginners from the professionals.